Hello everyone, and welcome. Oh my god, is this a special episode? Because you might have already noticed that I got myself a vlogging mic, and I'm very excited about it. And I just want to go ahead and change the it's called a windscreen to grey. I actually thought I prefer the black one, but I think I low-key prefer the grey. Yes, I did move my light in here from the bedroom because I thought, why not make it nice and cozy? And I have my stepdad and my boyfriend inserting lights into this gym room, and I'm so excited for this. I actually was waiting for them to do the lights for a couple of days, but they didn't get around to it. So I thought, you know what, I'm not going to wait any longer. I'm just going to start the episode. Who cares about the lighting? As long as the topic is good and what I'm talking about is interesting, then you guys will stay here. If not, then obviously you'll leave. Yeah, I'm still working on my YouTube setup. I would love to have my own studio space, my own, decor and stuff put in place, but at the moment my life is a bit chaotic, and maybe you will already know, if you are already an existing subscriber, that me and my boyfriend Luca are actually crashing at my parents' house at the moment. So this is my parents' gym. So ta-da, we did paint the interior. We actually helped my stepdad build this garden room, and we did a lot of work on it basically, and you might have seen it in my very early vlogs, but if not, ta-da, I'm in my parents' gym, and we basically put it all together. It used to be very messy, and the walls were exactly the same color as the ceiling, and now it's perfectly set up for the gym. The only thing is that we need light in here, so that is like the last bit to finish it. And I'm just so excited because we're gonna start working out, you guys, because why did I say in my previous vlogs, like at the beginning of this year, that this is going to be the best summer ever, we're going to get fit for the summer, blah blah blah, and then I just didn't get around to it? Like, why did I not work out? And I'm pretty sure, and I know this, I know I'm not the only person who says their New Year's resolution then doesn't get around to it. I mean, what on earth? The beginning of this year has been like a roller coaster. So many weird things have happened, and yet nothing has happened as well at the same time. And I just feel like now it's taking a turn for sure towards the right direction. And but basically I just want to sit and chat with you guys. I want to talk about a few things. So the reason as to why I am doing a podcast right now is because I want to make this vlog a limited edition chit chat series. And that is because I got my brand new mic, and I'm so excited about it. I know I'm gonna keep boasting on about it for probably the next couple of weeks or so, but I'm just so excited because my audio has been like absolute crap. And if you have been here for a while, you will know how bad my audio was. I want to review the Devil Wears Prada 2 movie. But before I begin, I actually want to talk about a few other topics. I actually realized that you guys haven't had a proper introduction from me, who I am, what I'm all about, and basically where I am at in my life. And I just want to build more of a community around my channel, and I just wanted to let you guys get to know me a little bit more, because you may be watching my vlogs but have no clue who I am or what my interests are and what I do in life. And so I wanted to basically introduce myself. I thought you guys deserve a little introduction. Long story short, my name's Cami, and I'm 25 years old, and I live in the beautiful England. And I was actually born in Lithuania, and I grew up in the UK. It was very difficult for me, to be honest, not gonna lie. I had to learn English at a very early age. you could basically say I'm British. I speak 3 languages. I speak a little bit of Lithuanian. I speak fluent Russian and English. And my life has been a roller coaster. I've been a fan of YouTube ever since I was really, really young. And I actually remember starting up a channel when I think it was 15 or 14 years old. And I had a few struggles. I kind of went on and off YouTube. I faced challenges with social media. I was very vulnerable and very young. And so, classmates bullying me and things like that, it was just awful. And it really put me off my channel, basically. And I ended up deleting all my videos and basically hiding myself from everyone. And you know what? I grew up and I realized, why do I let these people win? Like, YouTube is my absolute passion, you guys. Like, I am so happy to be sitting here and filming for you guys. And I think I'm back for good. It's funny because only recently in life I realized how much I love filming and editing vlogs. And actually it links to what I used to do as my job. So basically, when I was 16 years old, I started getting my own private photography clients. So I basically was working as a freelance photographer from a very early age. And in the end, I ended up moving to London, and I was working there as a freelance photographer whilst also working in hospitality, and it was going really, really well. I had my private clients, and I also used to work through Airbnb doing tourist photo shoots, taking people around central London and basically providing them with absolutely stunning shots. But then I got introduced to marketing, and I went and studied a degree in business marketing at university, and I've just recently finished and I couldn't be happier. I always was very business minded when I was really young, and although I was doing photography, I was doing freelance, and I loved the fact that I had to advertise myself and have my own clients and set up my own meetings and basically work for myself. I've always wanted to work for myself. And let me know if you guys can relate to that, but I absolutely cannot work for anyone. I refuse. Okay. I started mixing business, marketing, and photography together. And eventually, after finishing uni, I realized that I really want to set up my own business. And so this is where I am at right now. And I have just started up a jewelry brand and a candle brand that I am basically trying to expand and improve. I love to paint occasionally. I have painted probably about 10 paintings in my life. I love art. That is just me. I'm very technical. I love working on the computer, and that's me. And so I own a jewelry brand. It's called Keiko, and I make all the jewelry by hand. It's actually polymer clay jewelry, and I make beautiful fruit earring designs. So I'm actually only selling earrings right now. I'm wearing them right now, and they are really beautiful. And I do also sell tomato earrings, which are the most popular ones. Market stalls is something that I wanted to start off with to kind of like expand and grow the business and test out the market. And I will dive slightly deeper into market stalls and stuff like that. Maybe you are a business owner who also wants to grow their brand, and maybe you're someone who's never done a market stall before, or maybe you don't even own a business, but are just curious to hear about my experience. I'm here to talk about market stalls, you guys. All that aside, I will also dive deeper into my personal life. Me and my boyfriend Luca met in London. We used to work together, and we decided to move into the English countryside. The expense of living in London and the lifestyle and stuff was just beating me down, and I just wasn't able to afford living in London anymore. So I moved back home. Guess what? Luca followed me, and we moved into, let's say, the countryside. We moved into the countryside together. It's not really countryside, it's a town, okay? But it's not anywhere near London. So the vibes are completely different, and it's not so busy. It's not so culturally diverse, and there's just not much happening around. And so, yeah, we moved to the countryside and we got a little bit bored, and we decided to take the leap and move over to Italy because my boyfriend is Italian. Makes sense, doesn't it? But we figured we were not so happy there. And I think we just took a really rapid jump without even thinking about what we're doing. And basically we had nothing planned, and I don't know, we just realized it just wasn't for us. So we moved back to the UK, which takes me back to us being at my parents' house. And yeah, we're just crashing here for now, to be honest. Also, you guys, I created a poll on my community posts on my YouTube channel, and I basically wanted to ask you guys what you want to see in my videos. I just want to post what you guys are interested in watching. You will be seeing a lot of pets, a lot of cats in my videos. I think that's just a no-brainer. Like, I will be recording the chicken, and I will be recording Crumble, our cat, and I will be recording 5 kittens that we have in the house. Before I dive deep into my review and opinion on Devil Wears Prada 2 movie, I actually wanted to discuss market stalls. I've done a few market stalls in Italy. My first ever market stall was in December last year, so December 2025, and I actually started doing wreath making. We basically heard that there was going to be a market stall in the area, and I was just like, you know what, let's try it, because like, what have I got to lose, really? And I just kind of like made the decision. I was like, that's it, I'm selling wreaths. Like, this is what I'm doing right now, I'm selling wreaths. And I, without even thinking about it, I was like, Luca, let's go get foliage. I had no clue where we're going to find all the foliage, but in the end, it all worked out. We did this market and we realized, oh my God, Italians love my Christmas wreaths. And I was just getting so many compliments from people. It was just the most rewarding thing ever. And I remember it was freezing cold. We were out there for like, I think it was 11 or 12 hours, something crazy like that. In Italy, you guys, people, like, you have to turn up at like 6 a.m. You have to spend about 2-3 hours setting up your stall. Then at 9 o'clock, people start coming in, and then the market would finish at like 6 p.m. Like, it's on all day, okay? And we were freezing cold. We were so tired, but we were just so enthusiastic, and people loved what we were selling, and it just went by so quickly, actually, and it went really, really, really well. So we did 2 of those markets, and the rewards, guys, were just through the roof, okay? And I put in a lot of effort to advertise my wreaths as well. So we were going around to like local shops and also cafes, to ask the owners whether we can hang the wreaths in their store or in their cafe, and everyone was saying yes, what a beautiful thing, blah blah blah. I made an Instagram page and I spread the word, guys. I spread the word, okay? I was like hanging my wreaths up on gates and stuff, and I was just like, I'm not afraid for you to see me, like, I'm here, and I just wanted the world to know about my creations. Italians freaking love real wreaths. I think it's not a thing in Italy, and that's why people are just going crazy about it. After that market had finished, December had passed, and then I was like, oh my God, I want to do more markets. And I actually, for the longest time, wanted to start a candle brand. You guys won't believe me, but I actually wanted to start a candle brand during COVID. And this was so many years ago. I can't actually remember what date it was, but a couple months ago, was scrolling through my photo album because I was making some space for storage on my phone. And I found a picture of this logo that I created, and it was called Cami Candles. And I completely forgot about that, but that was the first time that I had an idea to do a candle business. And I just didn't have any knowledge. That was before I started uni as well. So I didn't have any business knowledge. I didn't have any marketing knowledge. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know where to supply everything from. I didn't know how to make a candle. Like, I literally had no idea. I just had this thought in my mind. Next thing you know, in Italy, I actually ended up starting making candles. And because we had so much free time and we were not employed, I was like, yep, this is what I'm doing. And guess what? We started making our own candles. And with the support of my family, I managed to make a huge order for waxes and jars and fragrances. And basically, our boot is still full of these beautiful, beautiful hand-poured candles. Yeah, so we ended up actually doing, I think it was 2 more markets in Italy, and I vlogged them both. So if you're interested, you can go check them out on my YouTube channel. But yeah, we realized that markets in Italy, they were kind of dead. We just realized that markets in Italy are just like not very high end. I don't know if we were going to the wrong markets or whether like people just don't take markets seriously in Italy. But I do feel like the market culture in the UK is very, very different. And I actually basically wanted to give you guys a comparison of what I thought of UK in comparison to Italian markets. So when we came back to the UK, I just couldn't wait to compare the market stalls here as a seller. And so we basically managed to book one market, and I have to admit that probably that wasn't the best market we could have gone for. I thought, you know what, I just want to do a market. I don't care where it is. I just want to test the waters, try it out. And you guys, I was very disappointed, I have to say, like, what is going on? And I feel like the issue is the same in Italy and the UK, but I just feel like market organizers are not putting in as much effort to advertise the event. And it really sucks, because as a seller who goes there to sell their products, you have to pay, okay? And I'm sorry guys, in Italy it's far cheaper, but in the UK it's actually very expensive. It depends where you go, of course, but it can cost £100 a day just to be there for like 4 or 5 hours. And when the event is not being advertised correctly, the seller can't make any profit, let alone pay off the expense of participating in the market in the first place. So to see that is really, really sad. And we saw that even in the UK, we actually went to one market to test the waters. We didn't actually participate, but we went there to kind of see what it's all about and whether it gets busy. And we actually saw that there was hardly anyone there. And there was a woman that had to stand in the middle of the town, kind of facing the main road, shouting, basically saying, guys, there's a market this way, market on your left, market fair. And I was just thinking, really? Like, she has to stand there and shout from the top of her lungs for hours to let people know that there's a market going on. You know, it's a shame, because if they would have done their advertisement, if they would have printed leaflets with arrows pointing to the location of the market, it would have been way easier to find it, and people would have known about it, and people would have made the effort to attend. But because it wasn't advertised correctly, it just wasn't worth it for us. We also participated in a local market here in the UK, and the same thing guys, no one there. And to be honest guys, we did so well for what it was, because my God, we actually made sales, which is like shocking, because I think maximum 10 people attended. A lot of people with their handmade goods and businesses say the same thing. Rant over. Write down in the comments what you guys think of market stalls as a seller, if you've ever tried one. I'm very curious to know. And yeah, but anyway, we are now on to discussing the Devil Wears Prada 2 movie. Now, beware that this is going to be a spoiler. If you haven't watched it already, please do not watch the rest of this video because I'm gonna ruin everything for you. But yeah, let's discuss Devil Wears Prada 2. So first things first, I want to say, before I criticize anything, because there will be criticism, I have to say the whole reunion, like the actors coming together and everyone working with each other after 20 years is just bloody brilliant. I just love seeing the actors all together again. I just love that we are going back to 2000s movies. Like, I am just all for it and I'm just obsessed. I love the 2000 films. Why was cinema just so much better in the 2000s? I don't know, but a lot has changed in cinema. Yeah, I really love the reunion, the whole idea of getting together again and basically looking back at the past and appreciating the first movie. And when I found out that Devil Wears Prada 2 is coming out, I was like, oh my God, I can't breathe right now. Like, I was so excited, and I looked at Luke and I was like, I am going to the cinema. And that was, I think, January of this year, I believe. And I was like, oh my God, 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 oh my God. I'm so excited because I love these like super girly films, stuff about fashion, and I just love it. I love it. I love it. Love it. Yeah. I'm the type of girl that likes to watch movies like Wild Child and, I don't know, films with Jennifer Aniston in them, Ashton Kutcher, and oh my God, what's the other actress's name? I love Kate Hudson, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, like all these rom-coms, chick flicks, and what's the other film? What Happens in Vegas. I absolutely love that film. I just love these movies. So for me, it was like, oh my God. And I've been waiting for a good film forever, okay? Like, I can talk about the downfall of cinema. It is catastrophic. I don't remember who I've heard say this, but I remember having a conversation about cinema with someone, and they specifically said that ever since COVID, films have been, let's say, in a downward spiral because production companies lost a lot of money because no one was going out, no one was going to the cinemas. And production companies were no longer taking the risk in producing new movies with new storylines. And so they would repeatedly like produce films, like replicas of already existing stories and already existing films, like the Batman, Spider-Man, Harry Potter, like just remakes of these fantastic films. And I'm a little bit against that because, you know, why would you want to remake something that is already fantastic? Like, I don't understand the whole reasoning behind it, but it's basically all to do with finances and budgeting and stuff. And because budgets were low, they were not as willing to invest millions and billions of dollars into new storylines. And so they began to basically repeat the same stories and the same movies and with different actors and stuff. And it just kind of became boring. I don't know, cinema became boring to me, okay? Like, last time I've been to a cinema before going to watch Devil Wears Prada 2 was probably 2 years ago. And guys, that is sad because I love the cinema. I love going to watch a movie, getting yourself a popcorn, getting yourself a drink, making an outing, and then coming out of the cinema and just discussing the film. Going into the cinema makes me really immerse myself in the experience, immerse myself in the movie, and it's just not the same effect as you would get at home. Like, at home, the movie ends, you know, you watch something on Netflix, movie finishes, and then you're going off to bed. I feel like because of the atmosphere in a cinema, it makes you super invested in the movie, and once you come out, you're like, oh my God, this is real life now. I just love that feeling that the cinema gives you, and it was just very sad for me to realize that there's something wrong. Like, good movies are not coming out anymore, guys. I miss those chick flicks. I miss those good actors. I miss those funny films. I miss new storylines, and I just wasn't seeing it anymore after COVID hit. It's such a special occasion after 20 years, a reunion, that I just could not watch it at home. Like, I had to go to the cinema to watch it. Like, it was that exciting for me, and it was really nice to go back to the cinema again. I love those actors, okay? These are actors that I remember watching in the 2000s films, and I just love these actors coming together. I think that's what makes it extra special. And although I loved the experience and I loved just the hype about it and people coming together to watch something that is just so iconic, I was a tiny bit disappointed. First thing that struck me in the beginning is that Miranda was nowhere near as strict as she was in the first film. Guys, I know, it's been 20 years. How could they possibly? But guys, really? You want to watch that film, revisit the characters and extend the storyline, but it felt like a completely different thing. It really did feel like they just did it for the comeback. They didn't do it to extend a storyline per se, which was a little bit disappointing. You know, in the first film, Miranda was very like, you know, she didn't give much emotion through her face. She always had that kind of, oh, Crumble's coming in. Oh, Crumble is my cow. She's meowing. Crumble! In the first film, she always had that I don't care attitude. No facial expressions. Like, if you would tell Miranda something, she would be like, she just would not care, okay? There would be no smiling and no, you know, all that. But I think in this second movie, her character was softened so much that it kind of ruined her character a little bit. I would have loved that extra sharp attitude, that mean energy. And, you know, it's sad because that's what her character was all about. And Luca didn't watch the first film, and he came to the cinema with me, and, you know, he said to me, but she's not as bad as I thought she would be. And I'm like, yes, Luca, she was really mean in the first film, but not in the second one. And I found her like smiling more ruins the character for me personally. And that struck me first thing. There was a lot of like time wasting, I think, in the film. There was a lot of meets and greets, and, you know, they would go to, there'd be like in the middle or towards the end of the film, they'd be going to events, and there would be like a 10-minute long like clip or like 5-minute long scene where they're just like, you know, kissing each other on the cheek and meeting and greeting, and I'm just like, what is going on here? In the old films, they would take a shot of this happening, take a shot of that happening, and things would be like bam, back to back. Lady Gaga's performance was amazing, and I loved that song. I love the songs that she wrote for the movie. It's just fantastic. She's such an amazing artist. I love Lady Gaga. Always have done, and that felt really special to me. But there were clips, I believe, from the real Fashion Week, and there were a lot of moments where they referred to real day life. And, you know, guys, I watch a movie to escape my everyday life. I don't want to be reminded of what's going on or what went on last year or what's going to be going on next year. Like, I don't want to be reminded of COVID or brand sponsorships. Like, I want to just immerse myself in the movie and get lost for an hour or two. Here, I found that there were just like everyday situations being added on into the movie. For example, I love Stanley Tucci. He's a fantastic actor, and he made such a good comeback, and he hasn't aged a day. But there is a line that he says. There is a scene in the Devil Wears Prada 2 movie where I think they're just about to arrive in Milan or something, and he is speaking to someone about food, and he says, that's not a Milanese dish, it's a Venetian dish. And I'm thinking, oh my God, you guys, I'm 100% sure that they put that phrase in there basically to make reference to his Italian food documentary that he has out. Why do you have to take me back to everyday life? Cinema for me is all about immersing myself in the movie and entering a whole new world. Like, I don't want to be thinking about everyday life and what's out there. And also the product placement of Coca-Cola. Like, I think This whole campaign with Coca-Cola and Devil Wears Prada 2 is just fantastic. I think it's a great, it's fantastic from a marketing perspective. It's great advertisement. Loved this partnership that they had with Coca-Cola. But to do the Coca-Cola product placement in the movie, my God, you guys, I think that's a little bit too much. And I see this happening time and time again with cinema nowadays, with movies. And it just sucks, you know, because I'm there to watch the film and I'm there for the storyline. I don't want to be reminded of everyday adverts and products and stuff. It just feels like they're just pushing products, and it just ruins it for me a little bit. I'm so sorry, guys. I also disagreed with a little bit of the cinematography, and I actually read someone's comment on Reddit, and it really made me laugh, and I think it was something to do with the colors or something. It's so modernized, and okay, like tech is advancing and there are different lenses and stuff, but to use such a wide angle without any purpose, it's just a bit over the top. There are, I think, 2 scenes where they use this wide angle lens. Why is this necessary? Something that could have been just a close-up headshot of a character has all of a sudden turned into this really wide angle, like almost like a fisheye lens situation going on, and for absolutely no purpose. I think this is like trending in movies nowadays, but just kind of ruins it for me because I don't really see any point in having such a wide angle. Hey ho, that's just my opinion, and I would love to hear what you guys thought of the Devil Wears Prada 2 movie. Please comment down below what you thought of the film, what you thought of the characters. Was Miranda as harsh as she was in the first film? And also let me know what you thought of the cinematography and whether you noticed any differences and whether the product placement irritated you or not, because I genuinely want to know your guys' opinion. Instead of scrolling on Reddit, dying to know what people think of the movie, I would love for you to comment down below because I'm so curious. Also at the cinema, there was a trailer for Meet the Fockers coming out. I think it's the 4th film, and this time it's with Ariana Grande. Guys, listen, I'm not gonna judge a book by its cover, okay? I really would love to go back to the cinema and watch that because I'm really curious what it's like, because I love Meet the Fockers movies, and actually me and Luca did like a Meet the Fockers marathon in Italy, like just a couple of months ago. So when we saw that coming out, we like looked at each other like, oh my God, this is crazy. Be prepared for a Meet the Fockers number 4 review. All right, guys. Well, I really hope you guys enjoyed this little chit chat, and please let me know if you would like more chit chat videos or podcasts, and if so, what topics do you want me to cover? Because I can cover any topic, and I love talking about philosophy, life, and mindset, and just stories, and beauty and health, and reviewing products, and discussing things. Well, that's it. That's me done for today. I really appreciate you guys watching. If you've watched this far, please hit that subscribe button and send me a comment. I can't wait to say hello to you. I will read all my comments, I promise you guys. And yeah, I'll see you next time.